Ladies and gentlemen, the 42nd President of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton.
And I saw another friend of mine back here who did not speak to you today, but often speaks at these Power Within events. His name is W. Mitchell, and he lives in Santa Barbara. And we've been friends for 25 years. First time we ever met, he was the mayor of the vast metropolis of Crested Butte, Colorado. And I was the youngest governor in America. And I'm going to use his story to get into what I want to talk about. Because America is in a bad fix and the rest of the world's being affected by it, I hope you won't be too affected by it. But the most important thing is not sit around and feel bad about the bad fix. The most important thing is to figure out what are we going to do now. So I'll tell you a story about W. Mitchell. When I met him, he was a mayor. And we were talking one night. I said, how do you deal with all this? And he said, well, you know, before I was injured, there were 10,000 things I could do with my life. And this injury was pretty tough. But when I really thought about it, it only took away about 1,000 of those things. So I have a choice. I can spend the rest of my life feeling sorry for myself because of the 1,000 things that are gone, or I can spend the rest of my life feeling good about the 9,000 things that are still out there that I can do. I choose the 9,000. That's what the world has to do now.
At 28, W. Mitchell had just made it out of the Marines and landed a good job as a grip man running cable cars through the majestic hills of San Francisco. On his time off, he liked to ride motorcycles. W. Mitchell's life changes in a second when he is badly burnt in a motorcycle accident.
I became a human bonfire.
His recovery pushes the limits of what any human being can bear.
I can't describe how painful it was.
When Mitchell is tested again by a terrifying plane crash,
Hold on!
he discovers an inner strength he never knew he possessed.
Would I trade what I've learned? Not in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, W. Mitchell.
Anyone can count the seeds in an apple. And no one can count the apples in a seed. Normally, when I speak to adults, I have a different opening. I ask people a question about adversity and difficulty, and I save this one for kids. I save this one for students. But then, after talking to Bob, he let me call him Bob. First he made me call him Mr. President. Then doctor, professor, but finally let me call him Bob. After talking to Bob, I realized I've probably never talked to a bigger group of students. A bigger group of seed planters. Of people who don't know how many apples are in a seed, but are searching for the answer. Because a lot of what you do is going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives that you'll never meet, never know. And yet here you are. Bob said to me, Mitchell, I'd like you to come and do something this evening. I'd like you to come and remind people that it's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. Because not unlike a whole bunch of other people, this organization has members who have stuff that happens. And sometimes this stuff is unexpected, unwanted, unwelcome. And yet, I don't know whether you've ever noticed, but I've observed in my own life, sometimes when a lot of that stuff is happening and you really don't want it to happen, it happens faster. Anybody ever know? And then when you tell it to stop, that's when it really starts to happen faster. And so in life, it's not often easy to control the stuff. So I've chosen in my life to focus on what you do with the stuff once it happens. How you choose to think about it, how you choose to react to it. And that's what I've come to spend a few minutes with you this evening, because you and I are both really anxious to get up to the mariachis. And I hope there's margaritas. There better be margaritas, I'll tell you. I had that wonderful job, the job that you saw in the video. I was a gripman on the San Francisco cable cars. Now, wow, what a wonderful opportunity that was. And you, a very well-traveled group, most of you, I'm sure many of you, have ridden on a San Francisco cable car, but some of you are from overseas or from different places, some as far as 40 minutes away, and you've come here to the meeting. Is there anybody here, now foreign visitors, this may not work exactly for you, but is there anybody here who's never seen a Rice-A-Roni commercial? Yeah, and for the foreign visitors, I'm sorry, it's a commercial about a food product, and they use a cable car, and a guy rings the bell. And so that was my job, ringing the bell, and I pretty much did what you do. Now I'm getting some funny looks. Now people are saying, wait a second, Mitchell, you had us for a few minutes there, but now we're starting to wonder, you don't look smart enough to do what we do, Mitchell. Yeah, this is probably the only audience I've ever spoken to where everybody in the room is smarter than me. It's a little embarrassing, but that's okay. That's okay. We're all smart in different ways. That's okay. But you see, my job was what your job is. My job was to be of service to other people, to help other people. Now you're helping animals, you're using animals in research, and I was fascinated. Why did the name go away? Well, sorry, my friend who I talked to out in the hallway. Oh, okay, it'll come to me. You know who you are, and you told me something really wonderful about this organization. I was looking and I was asking you questions and I was talking to you and asking all of you lots of, tell me about it and what's important about it and why is it necessary. And he told me the name of this organization when it was founded in 1963. And he told me it was the Animal Care Panel. Said it all. Said it all about what you're about. Who you are, what you truly care about. And I love that understanding that I got from that very description. But you see, if we choose as a motivator, maybe some of you know his name, Zig Ziglar, a famous American motivator, and Zig said something that's timeless, priceless. He said, you can have anything you want in life if you just help other people get what they want first. To be of service to other people, to help other people. I think that's what we're all about. And if that's our focus, then I think the rest follows rather easily. So I loved my job on the cable cars, and with a buddy of mine, we'd served in the Marine Corps together. We took some time off, he from law school, me from my cable car job and going to school at San Francisco State University. We took some time off and we took a motorcycle trip. And we decided we drove across the Sierra Nevadas and then down through the desert. And this was late June. I'm not completely sure we were as smart as we thought we were. Needles, California, late June. Ooh, hot. Up into the Grand Canyon, finally up into Four Corners and Colorado. And I fell in love with Colorado. And I spent time up there with my buddy. We raced our motorcycles, met other people, came back the following fall, bought season passes for Aspen Skiing Corporation, and lived in a funky trailer, and I hung sheetrock, but I skied almost every day, and just loved it. And then I began to think about a dream that I had to fly an airplane. I wanted to become a pilot. Anybody here with any unfulfilled dreams? Well, I pursued mine and started my flying lessons up in Colorado, and then in the spring back in San Francisco, back at my job at the cable cars, San Francisco State, and one afternoon I went out and bought a brand new motorcycle. The biggest, most powerful motorcycle that money could buy. Very next morning on the bike across the Oakland, San Francisco Bay Bridge, I met a friend from here a little while ago, to Hayward, where I got in an airplane, and for the first time in my life, I soloed. Flew the plane by myself, nobody else in it, nobody there to tell me what to do, nobody there in case I made a mistake. Anybody in this room remember their first solo? Now, because of the lights, I can't really see hands, but it would be impossible for a group this big not to have a pilot or two or three in the room, and we have a special bond. But how about the rest of you?